What's up, guys? On the Nest from the Strong Family Money Show. Thanks for stopping by. I read another article in this episode. I'm going to tell you what I think about it. Does China need us anymore? Stick around and find out. I usually upload these by themselves on as parents, and you not have a plan tube in your Disney Plus and all that stuff on your computer, right? You can use, and when you're in a caloric deficit, to try to so follow up to my previous post, and I'll link this article as well. So call it what you will, where this whole thing originated. So China shut down before we did, in whatever form we did. So the article pretty much laid out how China probably doesn't need us anymore, or at least not to the degree that they once did. This pandemic forced them to take inventory on, so China's biggest asset is their people. Unfortunately, I was talking to my wife the other day. If China had a free market, if China didn't, was not a communist country, if China had the infrastructure beliefs of the United States, China would be the superpower of the world, right? They have, and you can say the same thing about India. You can any place with a large number of people. If you apply the free market value, democracy, everything that makes the United States the United States, if you apply those things to countries that have a large number of people, right? Russia, right? They have more people to pull from, right? There's a reason why people leave those countries to come here to pursue certain things, because in those countries, it would not be theirs, right? Any idea would be the government would have the ability to take it over, and you wouldn't. Entrepreneurship is not the same over there as it is here. There are rich people, but for not the same reasons as there are rich people here, and that's can be debated as well. But anyway, China's biggest asset is their people. And so far they've been using them in like a factory mentality, right? We have people that can do work. If we find work for these people, they will do it. And most of the time the work comes from the outside. So, the reason we do a lot of manufacturing in China, and the reason, tech in general is big in Asia as far as the manufacturing side. So I work in the semiconductor field. A lot of the big fabs have moved over or started or are in Asian countries where they have a large population of people, so environmental regulations aren't as strict. You don't pay your people as much as you have to here. Work like OSHA and just workplace restrictions are pretty lax, so all that translates to profit and low costs to the consumer, which is us, right? So this shutdown and trade restrictions allowed made China was able to sit down and say, hey, we're not friendly with the US like we were, right, for whatever reason. We have all these people, we got to make money. So they were able to sit down, and this article goes over, they sat down, they said, we have all these people, everyone uses us to make this stuff. Why don't we just do it on our own? What's stopping us from making money for ourselves, not necessarily as a result of the U.S. sending, or other people, or the U.S. sending us things to do for them, and us selling it to them. Thing that says, services and construction is on an 8-month rise. There's a manufacturing index slipped slightly, but it stayed above 50%, which means that the economy is expanding. Factory activity is expanding. So they attribute the robustness to just them having to do stuff on their own. There's also, I guess, and it happened here, they had to shut down, people couldn't spend money, and then they had a long holiday, an 8-day holiday, helped increase in spending because everyone was locked in their home. They had all this money they wanted to spend to have a good time. They let them out. So, everyone spent all the money they would have, a large amount of money compared to what they would normally. Right? So there was a 4.9% expansion in GDP compared to last year. In this, recent history, that helped offset a 6.8 contraction in the first quarter. So they aren't back to where they were, but circumstances being as they were, they're making a play to become financially independent. And so what the people did is they had a 4-day meeting. They had senior leaders had a 4-day meeting, and it says they vowed to shift economy towards domestic consumption and build up the country's technological self-reliance. That is a big statement right there. That's probably the biggest statement of the whole article. That it says build up the country's technological self-reliance. They made a 15-year plan to expand the GDP. So they are on a mission to use their biggest asset, which is their people. And because they have so many people in the country, they have enough to make a large workforce, and they have enough to pull smart people out of, right? Which is dangerous for us because we may be lagging behind them because they are now motivated to show that they don't need anybody but China to support themselves. Now, the limiting factor is their government, and just the mindset right now, the mindset of the people. So if they're able to change the mindset of the people and make them more entrepreneurial, but the government gets involved in how well can you be an entrepreneur if you're really working for somebody else. But this is pretty scary. If this happens, then who's to say who's the next country to try and do this that has this type of environment of just a lot of people in general. The more people you have, the more people you can pull from. So anyway, something to keep an eye on. Someone's on our coattails. Someone's closing in fast. What are we going to do about it? It's important to keep the entrepreneurial spirit alive because that's what made America what it is, USA what it is, right? People wanting to say I'm going out on my own. I can do this all by myself. I have an idea that's mine that no one can take from me. That may be the only thing that separates us from everyone else in the world. It used to be that plus we are the consumers of the world. Everyone needs us to buy their things. Everyone needs us to send them things to do for us. But it looks like China is trying to change that. We'll see what happens if their 15-year plan takes off and they do leverage their technology. We see it a little bit with companies like Alibaba and stuff like that. I'm sure they are somehow flying under the radar of the government. I'm sure they won't let people be rich on their own. But anyway, we gotta watch it. We gotta keep doing what we're doing to make it better, so that we don't get caught. We're always in front. But let me know what you think. I'll link the article here in the notes, or if there's no link, you can find me on the internet, and it'll be link somewhere so you can read it on your own and let me know if I'm reading it as it should be read. This is Andres from the Strong Family Money Show. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.